Ladies and gents, welcome in to this very, very exciting matchup between Brazil and Japan in the round of 32. It's a clash between two different styles, the samba and freedom of Brazil, with their big names and big-time players, versus the up-and-coming, workmanlike, tough-to-beat Japanese side. It's two different cultures, Asian football and South American football, coming toe-to-toe, and I think it's arguably two of the best from their divisions going toe-to-toe here. Quickly, let's dive into the lineups before we talk about anything else. For Brazil, Alisson, of course, is in goal. Danilo and Douglas Santos are the fullbacks. They continue there. Gabriel Magalhães and Marquinhos at the back. Midfield, Paquetá, Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes. And up top is Vinicius Junior, Matheus Cunha and Ryan. So they go unchanged based on what they went with in that final game versus Scotland. For Japan, Dion Suzuki is in goal. Tomiyasu, Taniguchi, and Hirogoti Ito at the back. Urutu Doan, the skipper, on the right of that back five. Nakamura on the left of a back five. It's Sano and Kamada in midfield, so no space for Ao Tanaka in there. Then it's Junior Ito, Datsun Maeda, and Ueda who leads the line, which means a couple drop away. Sugawara drops out of the side. No space for Ao Tanaka also. And Takefusa Kuma is only fit enough for the bench. In terms of the Brazilian bench, we've got Bremer, who's a defensive option. Fabinho, Luis Enrique, Danilo Santos, Endrick, Igor Thiago, and Neymar on there for them. We've got the VAR, both his Italian referee joining the Italian staff on the field as well. A very stable Brazilian side, which Carlo feels like is balanced and well put together. So they go with the same structure. Now on down, we look to the flanks. Ryan, Vinicius. What we found was Scotland was their pressing really stood out in that game there. Penning that Scottish side in. They overplayed. They were nicking the ball off their feet. And Matheus Cunha, despite being the number 9, was doing a lot of the dirty work alongside Ryan, and providing for Vinicius Junior, who scored every single World Cup game so far. 4 in 3 for him. Massive role as well for Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes to keep moving in midfield, because the midfield of Sano and Dachi Kamada is going to be vital this game for Japan. If they can keep the ball moving from side to side and keep the energy on the likes of Bruno Guimaraes and Casemiro, just put Brazil off their game. And obviously Ayeze Ueda leading the line. He's an absolute handful. So that was the head-to-head check. Japan beating Brazil in a friendly earlier in this campaign in late October, 14th of October, is when Japan beat Brazil in Japan. Outside of that, it's always been Brazil getting the better of this head-to-head. Japan look to push on to the round of 16, create some history for this nation. Brazil, they feel like this is the start of something very special for them. It's the football juggernauts taking on the up-and-coming dangerous side in world football. Everything is in readiness here from Houston. The countdown's on. So then, Brazil got us kicked off. They're in their traditional yellow strip, kicking from left to right. Japan in their change white and black strip from right to left. A chance for the round of 16 awaits the ever-present Brazilian side taking on the next generation of Japanese footballers. We've never progressed past the round of 16, but there's a real sense this campaign, that they can go far in this tournament. Have proved everyone wrong so far, been one of the most difficult matchups in this tournament. What a reward for Brazil. Finish top of your group. You get Japan, one of the more interesting and difficult sides to face off against. made for probably the matchup of the round. The foul on Lucas Paquetá there by Ito. Be interesting to see how Japan go. Do they go to the man-to-man press? Do they drop into a shape? And how often do they change shapes? Do they sit in that back five, attack in a five, or do they attack in a three? Is it dynamic and it switches to a four? A lot of these things, and they had the capability to do so. Ryan chopping inside. Bruno Guimaraes. Danilo. Casemiro trying to do a flick around the corner. Oh, great pressing. Guimaraes. Shot deflected wide. Perfect start for Brazil. Pressing up the pitch, winning that ball back. And that is what Brazil have done so well. Look at that there. 3. Close. Putting pressure on. That Ueda touch, and he gave the ball away on the edge of his own area. So can Brazil cap off a bright start here? Bruno Guimaraes to whip this outswinger in. Numbers all around that penalty spot. It's a poor delivery. And away by Junior Ito. There is Carlo Ancelotti on screen. Always the leader of winning sides in cup competitions. So you saw the heroics he did with Real Madrid. And that's great pressing there for the Japanese side to win that ball back on the halfway off the throw. Ito sets a task of Ueda up there. That is great pressing for Datsun Maeda. That's what he does best. And yeah, just bundled over by Marquinhos and gives away a goal kick. But there is Maeda to a T. A pain and a disrupting figure. And there is Hajime Moriyasu. The man who has been in charge for Japan football for a long period of time. He's consistently got this side producing some great football. Here's Matheus Cunha going toe-to-toe with Tachi Kamada. The referee wasn't falling for that. Nakamura back to Ito. Oh, yeah, great battle in there today. Crystal Palace's Tachi Kamada going up against Casemiro, Bruno Guimaraes. Well, Premier League faces that will know each other very well. Already seeing how quickly possession can be changed over between Japanese hands and Brazilian hands. Here's Vinicius Jr. Look at getting behind, but Parmesan Suzuki off his line. It's made an important punch there. About to run in that inverted channel there. It's going to be very important that Tomiyasu is aware of his surroundings. See Taniguchi as well. Got Matheus Cunha for company, but have to keep an eye on that channel and try and make sure that Vini Jr. doesn't slip in between Tomiyasu and himself. So a lot for that back line to be doing, and look, that back line will be occupied by the 3 forwards. Ryan Ito's problem. Taniguchi, let's keep an eye on Matheus Cunha, and Vinicius Jr. is going to be the problem of Tomiyasu. If Brazil commit up the pitch with Douglas Santos and Danilo, you can almost see a man-to-man number with the wing-backs taking on the full-backs. That long ball from Japan changes hands once again. Now, Brazil responding. Lucas Paquetá on Flamengo. Matheus Cunha dropping in just to see the touch there. See the structure there. 5-3-2 here without the football for Japan, who are seeing in a very compact shape, sliding from left to right, but not pressing yet, this Brazilian side. There is Maeda working there to try and win that ball back. Ryan and Danilo then eventually end up with Bruno Guimaraes. Foot gets away. Brazil have got Japan locked in their structure right now. Vini Jr. Sano. A foul there by Sano on Vini. Very happy to blow the whistle in the early stages. We've seen a lot of referees this tournament put the whistle away, especially early on. That's Sano just tangling with Vini. Paqueta and Guimaraes over this one. Casemiro, Marquinhos, Cunha, Gabriel, Danilo, all there. And congregating on the edge of the area here, wanting to get the end of one of these balls in the box. Paqueta also could deliver. Here's Guimaraes. Oh, gee, Suzuki initially came and then had a little bit of a fumble. Caught the ball on the way down. Really strong initial effort and then great focus and follow to keep a hold of that ball there. So for Ritsu Doman on that right-hand side there. Undoubtedly more attacking orientated Ritsu Doman of Eintracht Frankfurt. But we'll have a massive role today to sit in and support. The likes of Tomiyasu and Taniguchi on that right-hand channel in particular. With the likes of Vini on that side for Brazil. Ritsu Doman is going to have a defensive focus first today rather than an attacking focus, which you would normally have. It's been that front three, though, Datsun Maeda, Ueda. And today it's going to be Junior Ito that have a massive role to possess the ball and try and keep a hold of it to allow the side to get out when they're in periods of defensive pressure like this. Guimaraes. Marquinhos. Across to Ryan. Brazil just trying to work their way through here, this Japan block. It's not necessarily a low block right now, but a lot of numbers in central areas, and you're forced to almost play around them at the moment. Very, very compact and solid back five. Gabriel. Vini and Gabriel linking up there. It's that fluidity of that front line. See there, Vini coming central now. Cunha will probably drift. That can cause sides problem. That's how you can pick a lock of a back five. Great cross-field floater to find Douglas Santos. Gabriel. Great period of pressure here from Brazil, though. Japan have not been able to get their foot in the football since probably the 3rd minute. Some sustained pressure here. Guimaraes. And Casemiro, what a ball. Danilo in behind. Kept it in play. Set it for Paqueta. Guimaraes. Smacked it off his own teammate. Bruno Guimaraes. And just for a moment, Japan were reeling. They got back and did enough. That Danilo cross really lacked any sort of dangerous area to be put into. Oh, Vini. Could have pounced on that loose ball, but Suzuki off his line first and makes the important save there. There is the threat of Brazil. Floaters into the channels. Runners in behind. Overlapping runs. You just see there, Danilo getting forward. Overloading the wide space. That is a definite avenue for them today to find the back of the net. Here's Ito. Daichi Kamada, chance now for Japan to respond with some possession of their own. Nakamura, such an important player for this Japanese side as a left wing back. Been a constant in this tournament so far and a personal favourite of my own. Hard-working, two-way runner. And somebody's got a goal in his game. Not only strong defensively 1v1. A little nutmeg by Junior Ito to find Sano, who spreads the game out wide to Nakamura. Whips the ball in early. Marquinhos heads it away. That's the early cross in the box. Numbers all loading into the box and almost causing a problem there. Sano a little bit late on Vinny. I think he rolled over the ball there. Got a big contact on Vinicius Jr. Ooh, not a good one. Happens a lot though when the player rolls over the ball and gets the ankle or the low shin region. Sometimes that can be interpreted the wrong way. I think luckily enough that the referee has avoided getting the cards out. No, he hasn't. He's given Keishi Sano a yellow card, which is going to make his day very, very interesting considering playing on a yellow card for around 80 minutes of this one. There'll be a lot more defending to be done. But we saw there a little minute spell with Japan, a little bit of possession, direct, getting the wing backs up the pitch and causing problems. You might see Brazil with 2/3 of possession, but the Japanese 1/3 of the ball will be as dangerous, if not more dangerous, do you think? Ritsu Doan. Japan to build out here. Taniguchi back to his keeper, Suzuki. And he searches long up the pitch. Sets a task for Ueda. Great initial hold-up play, but couldn't keep his second touch under control. And it comes back the other way here with Brazil. Casemiro. Feeds on down the middle. Here's a chance. Guimaraes. Oh, an important save. I don't think it was actually on target there, but Suzuki didn't know that. And tipped it wide of the mark. It was Matheus Cunha, sorry. On the swivel there. Brazil play quickly and short. Vini. Paquetá. Shot. Oh. And Bruno Guimaraes, I don't know if it was a shot or cross, but it almost found the far corner. Wow. There's Matheus Cunha's effort. Yeah, it was always going, I think, off the post, but important intervention nonetheless by Suzuki. The GMA Moriyasu side just to respond here. Here's a bit of a transitional moment. Junior Ito, such a dangerous player, and that's a dangerous tackle from Casemiro. And there's always going to be a yellow card. Never went near the ball. And Junior Ito has won a foul on a very, very dangerous position for Japan. A perfect response after a bit of Brazilian pressure. That is a threat of this Japanese outfit. So quick to go from one end to the next. And a player like Junior Ito starts today because of that reason. Someone who can make the magic happen with limited opportunities. So Crystal Palace's Tachi Kamina has taken a real keen interest in this one here. Wouldn't be surprised if Ritsu Doan also might have a pop. And there's those two standing over it. Even Ito having a look at it as well. You can assume the right foot of Kamina to try and whip it into this near post. But Ritsu Doan can go around the wall and try and whip it to his far. So Daichi Kamina or Ritsu Doan, who's going to be? It's Kamina! Blocked away. And it's blocked behind for Japan's first corner kick. Ball doing its job there. There are some of the important seats. Roberto Carlos R9. Junior Rito. First set piece chance for Japan. Not a team that is tall in stature, but a team that's very effective from set plays. Ball whipped into the near post, well dealt with though by the Brazilian backline. Two-poke clearance as far as Sano. Nakamura to Junior Rito. Nakamura overlapping. And too much by Junior Rito. How to play, that's a goal kick. Moriyasu liking the work though. Applauding his side. Good. Again, another good period of passage of play from this Japanese side. You can expect this game to be filtered in with some really, really impressive Japanese possession and Japanese attacking play in the middle of large amounts of Brazilian pressure in possession of the football. Ball forward. Here is Sano. He's got a little bit of space to run into. Early boys, Datsun Maeda. Ueda's in the box. Maeda's cross blocked away by Gabriel. They're going to find it difficult, Ueda and Maeda today, going up against the physical Marquinhos and Gabriel. Those two have picked up where they left off in the Champions League final and putting together a very, very comprehensive and complete display. Back-to-back clean sheets and back-to-back 3-0 wins for Brazil. It's a handball against Ueda. Disappointing end to that Japanese flurry forward. I think we're seeing the flow of what the game will be, though. As I said, there will be large periods of time where Brazil have possession. But Japan will be quite comfortable sitting in their shape. I've said it throughout the tournament, they're one of the most malleable sides, and the fact that they can go from really pragmatic defensive to front foot, dynamic, direct attacking football. They have that ability, and being an Asian qualifiers, they're the best team in Asia, so they always have to come up against low blocks and know to break down a low block. They know how to then set up a low block as well, competing in international football. And the way that they're able to adjust and adapt mid-game is quite admirable. Brazil have beaten Japan on 6 of 7 occasions. The only time they haven't was the recent game in which Japan came from 2-0 down at half-time to win 3-2 in Japan. So recent history is with the Japanese side. Some of their recent form has been unbelievable as well. On the Asian side, only the second Asian side to go through 5 consecutive World Cup games unbeaten. They come to this game being solid as a rock. There's a throw won by Japan on the near side here. Great battling against Mateus Cunha from Nakamura. Long throw to Ueda. He got bumped off it. Sano picking it up. Gimenez flying in with the challenge, but Japan come away with it. And there's Ito, who looked to switch the play, but there's a poor pass and picked up by Douglas Santos. Vinicius Jr., great turn of speed, sets the ball back. Taniguchi heads away. Douglas Santos, Paqueta continues to run further forward. Cross in, partially blocked, then well and truly away by Tomiyasu. Pressure, though, self-inflicted by Ito with his crossfield pass there. But luckily, Japan got back in numbers to stop that Vinicius Jr. attack. Haven't seen much on the right-hand side with Rayan yet. There's been a lot in those sort of half spaces and channels right now for Brazil, but not out-and-out wing play. Here is Rayan. Lays the ball back to Danilo. Marquinhos. Casemiro. Bruno Gimenez. Cunha. Crossfield pass. Looking forward. Danilo just overhit that one there. From, I think, Paquetá. A chance wasted there from Brazil. There is two Brazilian legends, and Oscar and Ronaldinho. Two excellent number 10s. What a legend Oscar was. Can this Brazilian side embrace some of that legendary performances from R9, Ronaldinho, Roberto Carlos, who are all in the stands today? I said yesterday with the power rankings video that there's a sense here with this Brazilian side with the combination of Carlo Ancelotti's know-how and ability to win and cup dominance, with the skill and quality of Brazilian players, with a defensive identity now. There's a real threat here about this Brazilian side. Cunha, put to ground. The referee not buying it though. And a goal kick given. So again, just running the wrist there, sticking out a leg and bringing Matheus Cunha to the ground. On that note though, despite Matheus Cunha's venting, we're going to go to the hydration break. The first break of this one, with the teams locked at 0-0. Again, that hasn't had too many chances yet, but it's been very, very tactical and very, very tight-knit. Brazil 0, Japan 0. Short break, guys, and we'll be right back after this interval. Welcome back, ladies and gents, from that short intermission, quarter-time break. We'll be back with live action in merely a couple of seconds' time. Just a readjustment of the clock there. We're back underway with Japan here, playing out from the back, who did well to initially keep Brazil at bay after a good, strong start from them and have responded in the last few minutes or so. This man here, Junior Ito, been a part of that. Ball in the line. And Nakamura's ball in. Blocked behind. It'll be a corner kick for Japan, their second of the game. Then you see that the attacking identity and philosophy of Nakamura getting all the way up the pitch on the right-hand side, the wrong side for him. That's sort of what the player he is. When he attacks hard. Defensive work here for Brazil to do. Japanese outswinger. Junior Ito to take it. Rising highest. Who was that there? Here's a waiter. The big centre forward. Got a lot of space. Jumping with Danilo, but couldn't keep the header down. Big chance for Japan. Set pieces are, if you're going to play a big part in this game, no matter what, the size of Brazil, but also the precision of set pieces from Japan always make them a problem in this game from those sort of situations. Long ball looking for Lucas Paquetá. Well battled though by Taniguchi. Marquinhos the other way now for Brazil. We'll just look for a little bit more tempo in their game, I think, right now. They want to try and bring that intensity, bring that speed of ball movement to force Japan to be uncomfortable, to force them to be shifting and out of shape. Because that shape is so important for them. It's the foundation of their defensive structure, but also the springboard for their transitional play, which has and can cause Brazil more and more problems. There it is again. Long ball given away. Taniguchi. Ito just ran himself into some trouble there. Brazil come the other way. A poor giveaway from Danilo. Sano comes the other way. Sano finds the back of the net. What a moment for Japan. And it's the midfielder that produced a moment of magic. Picking the ball up in midfield, driving into the space. And drilling the ball home from outside the box. The sensational Sano. And Japan struck first here versus Brazil. The World Cup heavy hitters have been hit straight in the face. And it's the brilliance of Japan to catch them out here. It's a poor giveaway by Danilo in midfield. Sano takes it over. And he just believes in himself. He wills himself forward. And a brilliant driving run. Look at this here. Given away. Sano nips in, wins the ball back. Skips past Casemiro. And then from outside the box, just takes it on. And it's placed perfectly into that bottom right corner. Nothing Alisson can do about it. And Japan show their quality once again. Oh, what a finish. And look what it means. Samari Yasu on the touchline. And this Japanese side, emotion outpour in the stands. And they've been probing and pressurizing this Brazilian side, and at last they broke through. A perfect start of this game for Japan. And as I always say, they are never out of any matchup. And now this back five structure will look more and more difficult to break down if you're Brazil. It's never going to be straightforward for Brazil. It's probably the worst case scenario, them finishing top of that group. Morocco obviously have the Netherlands as well, so whoever finished top or second in that group end up with an absolute handful of a matchup. But that's probably the worst case scenario if you finish top of a group and you get Japan in the next round. Because this team is so difficult to go toe-to-toe with And that's a prime example of it there. Winning the ball in midfield, taking the game on, not just possessing the ball, being direct, going at the side. And a lot have been said about the fullbacks and the lack of quality Brazil have there. And that, again, is a prime example of it. Danilo showing too much of the ball there to Sano. He nicks in. And it was his mistake, Danilo, that led to that goal. Brazil have never failed to progress past the first stage of the knockouts in World Cup since 1990. So history is on their side as well. Now, what a response here. The referee had a long, hard think about that. But in the end, Douglas Santos had been found, he said. Ritchie Doan just getting a foot in, but doing so illegally. It's a smart call from the referee. Big set piece here for Brazil. Can they strike back instantly? They want a strong next 5 to 10 minutes here before halftime. Whether they score or not, they want to carry some momentum over into the halftime interval. Paquetá stands over this one. His ball delivered in. Initial contact for Marquinhos. I couldn't redirect it on target. And behind for the Japanese goal kick. A big result for them. There's that Sano effort. Precise, but also powerful as well. Such a strong finish from the midfield man. So here come Brazil again. Gabriel. That is also, I guess, the vulnerability of this Brazilian side. Yes, there's a good midfield, but Casemiro is holding it together and those legs just weren't there to keep up with Sano. Vini taking it on from outside the box. Suzuki quite comfortably claiming that one. There's the effort on goal there from Vini. Never really causing Suzuki many problems. There's Mr. Jimmy Butler. He's been around a lot of these South American games. Watched Colombia and Portugal a couple of days ago. So here come Brazil the other way. Looking to pen this Japanese side in. Taniguchi rising well at the heart of defence. Casemiro came in and beat Paquetá to it. Put to play to Danilo. Danilo's ball in. Not fully dealt with by the Japanese. Paquetá gets it out wide to Vini, who sets it to Paquetá. Sano in the way. Vinicius Jr. twisting and turning in there. Great block and defensive action by R32 Doan. And Japan can get out here. But Juniorito just took too long on it and caught in possession. The ball to be fed through to Vini, but out of play. Did predict the 3-2 Brazilian win. I think we're going to get goals in this game here. Now that the first has gone in, the onus is on Brazil to make all things happen going forward. It's a poor giveaway. Guimarães. Matheus Cunha. Set to the Vini. Chance in the box here for Brazil. Bruno Guimarães. Good foot in by Eintracht Frankfurt's R32 Doan. Casemiro. This is good pressing from Brazil, though. Win that ball back into them, keep Japan penned in. Wave after wave of attacks here. Eventually, the pressure will tell. Juniorito squeeze it through to Ueda. And Juniorito has a big task here as Paquetá and Gabriel with him and then wins a throw on the far side. Fantastic rearguard action and counter-attacking work here from Japan. That's the perfect bailout. And the Don Carlo and his coaching staff have a lot to think about here at halftime. How do you respond against Moriasu's men who don't often put a foot wrong? Lucas Paquetá, the Flamingo man. The ball out by the Douglas Santos. Vini continuing to play a little bit more narrow in that half space, in that channel. Trying to occupy both the wing back and the centre half there. Casemiro da Cunha to Vini. Holds the ball up well. 4 goals for him, only 3 goals for the rest of the Brazilian side. So heavy focus goes into Vinicius Jr. being the outlet, being that goal threat. That's such a lot of attention of the Japanese backline is on Vinicius Jr. Ryan's done something similar here. Come down the middle where Matheus Cunha is. Packets up. Brazil frustration growing though. Not finding a way to break down this Japanese side. Cunha takes it on. But a tame long-range effort that Suzuki can comfortably claim. Going to take more than that to beat Zeon Suzuki from out there. Taniguchi. Long and to no one in particular. So Marquinhos now for Brazil leads the response. Casemiro. It's a very, very compact shape right now for Japan. That 5-3-2. The midfield and back line are almost on top of each other. Ryan. Japan are going to love to allow Brazil possession in this sort of region. Casemiro, Gabriel, Danilo, Paquetá, but no further forward than that. And they're going to force long-range efforts from like Vini and Cunha. It's going to take something special to break them down. That's what they will believe in here. They've got the goal. They can now sit in their structure. Vini. Casemiro, lose touch. And Maeda's on it. And this is what he can do. Datsun Maeda. Press, energy, intensity. It means a throw of Lucas Paquetá. And that's what he brings to Celtic. That's what he brings to this Japanese outfit. It's almost like that mosquito, that fly that just never leaves you alone. Just a pest. Makes midfielders and centre-halves time horrid. Ito. Suzuki. It's a poor giveaway there from Tomiyasu. Casemiro. Brazil trying to crack this Japanese code. Vini cross-blocked by Junior Ito. 5 minutes to the half here. Their Sano goal, just shy of the half-hour mark, is the difference so far. And since then, the Japanese structure has been rock solid. Marquinhos, Paquetá. Ball whipped in, but Suzuki easily claiming that one there. Despite some early long-range shooting opportunities, there's been nothing clear-cut for Brazil. in the opening 45. Even before the goal went in, when Japan were a little bit more open. Brazil could not make anything from it. Here's Maeda, looking to turn Marquinhos. Plays in Junior Ito, the hard-working Junior Ito. With Doan, here's the armband today. They did this to the Netherlands. Obviously, the Dutch scored first, but their responses were fantastic in that game there and always seemed to have the upper hand in that game, despite the possession that the Dutch had. This Japanese side does not fear names on a team sheet. They don't fear the reputation of players and the names of a team. Brazil to them will mean nothing. They'll approach the game the same way they do if it was Sweden like the last game or Tunisia, their second game. Going to go at you with vigour. They're going to defend in numbers. They're going to, as I said, adapt well to any situation. Japanese throw one on the far side. Great competing from Ritsu Delwan on Casemiro. Tess Cunha and Casemiro is getting each other's way there. Coming up. Sano, the goal scorer. Flick from Junior Ito to find the skipper Doan. Ito. Dangerous ball in there. Marquinhos still, but Kamada beat Ryan to it. Hiroki Ito. Ball in that was very, very dangerous and had to be dealt with by Douglas Santos, who headed out of play. Japanese throw right towards the corner flag. Tawan. Tomiyasu does well to turn Sano away from the one challenge and the second. Great work from the goal scorer. Here's Nakamura. That's in Maeda. Nakamura. This is great flowing possession from Japan. I said it. They're going to have their little spurts of dominance and possessional play, attacking movements in between the long periods of possession for Brazil. And this is one of those periods now. But Doan gave it away to Bruno Guimaraes. But a misplaced pass by Casemiro. And Dazen Maeda, of course, is there to win the ball back. Hiroki Ito. Kamada. And once again, careless possession for Brazil. You have to be more precise once you turn the ball over. Kamada. Maeda. Back with Palace's Kamada. Crossfield ping to pick out Junior Ito. Gets the ball out of his feet. And then drives up Douglas Santos. Shot blocked away. Bruno G comes away with it. And Kamada has tripped Guimaraes and picked up a yellow card for his action. So 3 out of the 4 deeper midfield players have picked up yellow cards. Casemiro, Sano, and Kamada. Bruno G yet to pick one up. Just stopping that transition there. Daichi Kamada. I think Ayo Tanaka will be coming on in the hour mark for either one of Sano or Kamada. Just with a game that's currently sat out, you don't want to risk a second yellow, especially trying to stop one of those transitional actions for Brazil. Ball whipped in. First contact, Japan. Oh no, first contact, Brazil. Now to play for the goal kick. So we've got 4 minutes of added time here. Let's have a look at that last action. To be fair, it looks like it does come off Paquetá. It might be a good call by the Italian referee there. So Suzuki. Putting that ball towards Ueda. Competing against 3 yellow jerseys. Look at Datsun Maeda though. Beating Danilo to that 50-50. Nakamura. Maybe a last chance of the half here for Japan. Kamada. Can he pick something out? Ito. Nakamura continuing his run on the left-hand side here. Taniguchi into the goal scorer, Sano. Tomiyasu pass a little bit loose. It's probably looked the worst of the bunch today for the Japanese players, which is, I guess, a bit of a compliment because he still played a very solid game. Just been the rest of them have been unbelievable. So maybe a last chance here for Brazil in this first half. The Japanese fans, who are well and truly outnumbered here, but making the noise, singing their song. Because their side have done a very, very good job here in this first half. They've kept Brazil at bay. Not allowed them many chances at all, and they've taken their chance when they got to go forward. And that clinicalness and that effectiveness is what this Japanese football side have been all about in the last few years. The reason why they are such a hard cookie to crack. Oh, they're one of Asia's best now, one of the world's best. The compliments can keep flooding in for this side. They are really a great watch. Pulled away by Taniguchi. Brazil trying to force their way through here. It's this Japanese rear guard. Douglas Santos back with Bruno Guimaraes. Spins the play to Danilo. His mistake led to that goal. Marquinhos. He whips the ball in. Too deep for Mateus Cunha and Lucas Paquetá. Junior Ito just sends it for distance. Going to be repelled here with Gabriel. Brazil have a man down to the far side. Looks like Paquetá. And Nakamura just sends it up the pitch. Junior Ito with a pertinent touch. Here's a chance. Oh, Ueda could have held off Marquinhos there and kept his side in possession. Paquetá limping. That might be a problem for Brazil as they enter half-time. And that is going to be half-time. Japan are halfway there. They are 45 minutes away from beating five-time winners Brazil and giving us one of our biggest World Cup upsets early on here in this tournament. Hajime Moriyasu took the lead through Sano in the 29th minute, where he reacted first to a loose pass coming from Brazil. He won the ball back in midfield, drove up the pitch, and finished quite strongly and precisely into the bottom left-hand corner. It is Japan leading Brazil 1-0 as we enter the half-time interval. Big second half to come for Brazil. Massive performance from Japan. Short break, guys. We'll be right back for the second half action. Welcome back, everyone, to the second half. That's going to be very, very entertaining. Japan took the lead through Keishu Sano after the Danilo gave the ball away in the middle of the park and struck home from long range. We've got a substitution at halftime. Off comes Lucas Paqueta. Picked up a knockdown. Endrick comes on to start the second half here, so that's a big move. I see a lot said about Endrick and the availability of him playing under Carlo Ancelotti, but Lucas Paqueta clearly lamed there by one of those challenges late in the half, and a chance for the young Endrick of Olympique Lyonnais, and a fantastic second half of the campaign. Chance to go out and show what he's all about. Carlo shakes his hand and gets him ready to go. An incredible end to his season last year. A chance for him now to prove himself on the world stage. Endrick on. And he'll play the number 10. So we go, second half countdown here from Houston. And we're underway here. Japan gets kicked off. They lead this game 1-0. They're kicking from left to right in their change white strip. Brazil in their home yellow colours from right to left. Keishu Sano's early goal, the difference here between the two sides, but I fear that is not going to be the only goal in this one. Great start straight away from Brazil, winning the ball back high up the pitch. And here comes Endrick off the bench. Mateus Cunha, Ryan. Going to get at this Japanese backline. Vinicius Jr. stands one up. to the back post, and Suzuki can quite comfortably claim. But 34 seconds in already, a brighter start for Brazil. Getting at this Japanese side, winning the ball back in midfield and getting up the pitch. That's what I want to do here against this Japanese outfit. That's looked so well put together. That's a great touch from Ueda. Takes it down dead. Nakamura for the left-hand side. Looking to slip a ball in for Ito. Ball whipped in towards the back post. Numbers come crashing in there. No half-time substitution for Japan. Yeah, both midfielders, Sano and Daichi Kamada, on yellow cards, so to keep an eye on for that, and as well as Casemiro in midfield on a yellow card as well. Douglas Santos taking his time on his throw, gets it into Mateus Cunha, and sends it long up the pitch. Taniguchi wins that duel. And Vinny winning the battle in the end versus... Oh, foul in there. The Italian referee just telling Moriyasu to calm down, and I'd be with him. I don't know what the foul there was called for. Interesting call there early from the referee. Brazil come back the other way here. Here is Gabriel. Brazilian fans finding their voice, trying to urge their team on. Vinicius Jr. shopping inside, delivering that ball in. And you try to take it in and kill it. Wasn't able to do so. And away come Dutson Maeda. And he's shoved in the back there. And that is an easy yellow card. Another counter-attack stopped, and it was Danilo. He wasn't going to allow the same thing to happen like the first half. Dutson Maeda, so crafty, so clever. The way he's able to get in front of Danilo, he knew was running down a cul-de-sac, and thought, let me try and get a foul here. He picks up a yellow card for one of the fullbacks. Junior Ito. Sano. Japan have done this well when they've needed some reprieve. They've got on the football, they've possessed the ball. They've kept Brazil at bay. And this balanced attack between defense and attack has been very, very, very good to see. They've taken this game on in the right spirit, scored the early goal. They've got something to defend, but they're not just camping on that one goal. They're going to take the game to Brazil, and spaces will open up. Tomiyasu fouled on there, putting himself into trouble by that loose touch. Cunha came flying in and just stepped on the toe of Tomiyasu. Here is Neymar readying himself. Expect maybe a half an hour or quarter of an hour cameo from him. Ball around the corner for Ueda. Great hold-up play from him. And the layoff for Sano. Japan just looked like they were through there for a minute. The ball's bounced away and broken the way of Endrick. Looked to squeeze one through to Vinny. Just slightly overhit that pass, and Vinny, the thumbs up of approval. Great work though for Endrick. Beautiful dink pass to Nakamura. Dutson Maeda can run at Marquinhos. Just looked to knock the ball past him. Wasn't going to get the beating of him for pace there, Maeda, but worth the attempt. It's Doan, the captain, the wing back, getting up the pitch here. Douglas Santos with him every step of the way, but coolly and composedly found Daichi Kamada in midfield. He hasn't had the same level of dominance as he did versus Sweden, but has ran the midfield once again. Ball into Dutson Maeda. Great control and the close pressure that Ueda tried the fancy flick and turn. And the foul wasn't given, so other way come Brazil. What a challenge from Tomiyasu to deny Vinicius Jr. that chance. Now Doan gets back to Get a tackle in. Vinny's still with it, though. Real Madrid man sets up. Bruno Guimaraes. Roll across to Arsenal's Gabriel. Casemiro. Casemiro again. Gabriel. Floats a ball in, or headed away by Hiroki Ito. Gabriel out to the left here, where Douglas Santos is. Hendrick and Cunha both occupying those three centre halves. Vinny drifts a little bit further wide now that Hendrick's on the pitch. Vinny gets the give and go. Sets it for Danilo. Can set the ball in there. Headed effort by Bruno Guimaraes, and what a save by Suzuki. A great reaction effort from the partner number one. That's a massive chance for Brazil. Bruno Guimaraes doing what he does best, box crushing, getting in there late. After that beautiful delivery from Danilo, he picked out the Newcastle midfielder. Did everything right here, Bruno G. Great reactionary save, though, by Suzuki. Dangerous period here for Japan. They need to hold on against the relentless Brazilian attacks. Another dinked in ball to the back post. Well dealt with, though, by Ritzy Doan. Gabriel sets it for Bruno G. Guimaraes. Vinicius Jr. Got Doan back pedaling here. Great cutback ball. Hendrick found an attempt on goal, but partially blocked away. And cleared as far as Douglas Santos. This is the best period of attacking play from Brazil. Wingers staying out wide in the second half. Vini and Rayana staying closer to the touchline. Just starting to stretch his Japanese backline. Ball whipped in. Taniguchi heads away. Second ball's to be won there. Junior Ito wins it. Brazil coming back again. Ryan. Chopping inside, delivering. The back post is there. Headed across goal. Is that the equaliser? Oh, hands off the line. How have Japan kept that out? And now's a counter-attack. It's 5-on-5. Junior Ito. Dink ball across the box. Nakamura got up there. Numbers in the centre. Oh. Headed away. It'll be a corner kick, Japan. How have Japan kept that out of their net? Unbelievable. Ball put in. Headed recycled ball. Clearance off the line to deny Casemiro. It's Tomiyasu. Just, it flushes in. Then it hits Suzuki. Comes back off Tomiyasu. And Ito gets it away from the line. It just chaos on the line. In the end, organised chaos because they get it done. And the Japanese rear guard stays strong. Wow. Brazil are coming here. It is attack after attack after attack. And Japan showing their quality defensively, though. Managing to keep this side at bay so far. 10 minutes into this second half. Brazil have looked brighter than they did the whole 45 in the first. Casemiro floats her out wide to Ryan. Danilo on the outside of him. Guimaraes. Dangerous ball in the channel. No one goes to it. Doan can get away. And the clearance out of play for a Brazilian throw on this left-hand side. And the Brazilian beast has been woken here. Gabriel. This is where all that hard work defensive is going to come into it for Japan. We saw this versus the Netherlands. They were able to keep them at bay for a certain period of time, but eventually the pressure showed. They got to stay solid here. Ryan dinks. Another dangerous delivery. Well dealt with initially by Japan. Vinicius can recycle this one, though. Doan with him. Set to the edge of the area. Gabriel floats her in. Is that the header? Yes, it is! Casemiro with a response. And Brazil strike back at the start of the second half. And the pressure told at last. Casemiro, the veteran, heads home. And the brilliant Brazilians have struck back here. After an avalanche of attacks and balls into the box, the pressure eventually told and Casemiro heads home at the back post. And there was a fair amount of criticism in that first half. It was lighting up across socials. Casemiro at fault for that first goal, many thought. But what a way to respond to the second half. A brilliant ball recycled back in by Gabriel of all players. And Casemiro rose high to the back post to head home. And a perfectly timed, powerful head at the back post. And we've got parity here. And the Brazilian beast has awoken from its slumber. And they are level here in Houston. Game on here in the final half an hour. And the electricity of those Brazilian fans as they find their voice. One apiece here. Cassiusano and Casemiro. And we have game on here in Houston. And the rear guard for Japan can only hold on for so long. Now they're going to be forced to come out of that shape and hopefully try and respond here versus Brazil, who have made all the running here in the second half and deserve that equaliser. It surprised me taking that long for them to know that balls into the box are going to cause a problem. They're a far superior side in terms of height and in terms of physicality. It took for Endrick to come on to force wingers out wide. And a mistake there from Casemiro. And Maeda went over. But no foul, says the referee. Rayan comes away with it. And can Brazil make it 2 in quick time? Oh, a nutmeg from Vini. And he's away from Tomiyasu. Vinicius Jr. Vini off the upright. Oh, and over the crossbar by Mateus Cunha. And how has Vini missed that? Oh. Houston's becomes Vini's dance floor. Perfect first touch to nutmeg Tomiyasu. And then he has the defenders all over the place. And it hits the upright. Suzuki with a massive save to tip it on the upright and keep it away from the back of the net. This is alarm bells ringing for Japan. They are reeling here under this Brazilian pressure. They just can't get out for the moment. And the Samba has arrived here in Houston. The energy which they're playing with right now is unstoppable. It feels like irresistible, Brazil. Maeda, second ball away for him. Ueda's been sent through here. Marquinhos beats him to it. Oh, Ueda as well, though, keep the football. Sets it for Doan. Can Japan strike against all the pressure? Great spin from Ueda, but spins into trouble, and Alisson can claim. Take a breath. What a second half we've had. There is that offside shot. Casemiro well on. We've seen him do that so often this season for Manchester United. Normally it's Bruno Fernandes delivering a recycled ball to the back post. This time though, Gabriel of Arsenal. Great pressing note from Datsun Maeda. Throw from Brazil on this near side. Tomiyasu winning that aerial duel. Ueda wins that ball down, but deeming to have handled it. Just quite harsh against the centre forward. It sort of just bounced onto his arm rather than the arm controlling it. Oh, the arm was out. That is on me. Good call from the referee. The only team, though, can respond, it is Japan. They've shown they can do that throughout this tournament. They have come from behind to beat Brazil before. It's Brazil have come from behind here to draw level, though. They could have led the game through Vinicius Jr.'s effort there, which was tipped onto the post by Zion Suzuki. All of a sudden, that incision, the energy, the precision is there for Brazil. Something that we hadn't seen at all in the first 45. What a ball in from Gabriel. The weight, the pace on it, perfect. And Casemiro doing what he does best, making those runs into the box and being an aerial threat. Kamina sets it back there for Ito. And now Suzuki. Long ball up to Ueda, who's competed well. And second ball to won by Maeda. His touch was just too heavy. Just allowed Alisson into the game. But Ueda's competing very well right now aerially against Casemiro, Gabriel and Marquinhos. That's a Maeda just, if he had his chances back, he might have looked to have a little bit of a less heavy touch to give himself a chance to chase in that second ball. But second ball was pressing transition. That's what Japan will look to utilize here to try and repel this Brazilian pressure. And that's what Maeda's done there. Got a foot in on the Alisson kick. He's the king of that. Hendrick, though. Vinicius. Hasn't he come to life in the second half? Back here from Douglas Santos. Vini again. Little flicks and tricks on point right now. Guimaraes. Across the ground to Danilo. Great give and go with Ryan and Cunha. Ryan still. Beautiful footwork from Ryan. Sets it to Mateus Cunha. Return to Ryan. Think towards the middle of the box. Suzuki comes and claims it. Look at the footwork there from Ryan. That's how you get out of trouble. Carlo's got someone readying himself and he's just pointed the finger down the touchline. So a substitution is in the offing here for Brazil. Look, Hendrick hasn't directly impacted this side, but since coming on, it's forced Vini wide. It's forced Ryan wide. It's a front two now for Brazil. It's a proper 4-2-4, and it has caused problems for Japan because they've looked to deliver balls into the box now and look to utilize their aerial presence. Maeda does well to turn Marquinhos and feed through Ueda, who's definitely onside there. Ueda, ooh, venomous strike and spilled initially by Alisson, but in the end, the follow-up, no one chased it in. Ueda, though, just taking it on. But Ueda and Maeda right now causing some problems. Doing well with their hold-up play. Giving Japan opportunity for second balls and runs beyond. Casemiro. Vinicius. So Martinelli ready to go. I'm assuming he'll come on for Ryan. There's no way he's going to come on for Vini. Not with the fault that Vini's in. Vini. Gabriel. Marquinhos. Ryan on the furthest right side here. Sets it back to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes to Gabriel. They work from right to left here. Vinicius Jr. on the left-hand side. Don't have to defend him. Ball to Luis Enrique. Hooked away. Sorry, that was Douglas Santos over there. And his subs are clocked now for both these two sides. So Martinelli on, it's Mateus Cunha to make way. So Hendrick will probably go down the middle. Potentially Vini in the 10. Can't imagine Martinelli will play centrally. Sugawara on for Nakamura. Suzuki coming on for Ritsu Doan. So both wing backs being replaced here. Sugawara and Suzuki on in their place. So Sugawara will go right back. Suzuki left back. Or left wing back, pardon me. Brazil pressing. Japan countering. That's the current state of affairs. Marquinhos. Douglas Santos. Martinelli. Little fist ball into Douglas Santos in the channel. Great one-touch work there. Martinelli. The intensity right now is there by Brazil. And the intent is there to go and score a second as well. Cutback ball from Ryan. Sano in the important spot. He's the goal scorer in the first half. And it was his effort that was separating the two sides before the equaliser there from Casemiro. Long-range effort and a header at the back post. The two goals we've seen today. Japan may have just weathered the initial storm, but it feels like a second wave is coming here from Brazil. Martinelli, goal scorer Casemiro. It's a two goal scorers both playing midfield today. Ryan looking to put another ball in the box, but this time well worked away from Japan. Second and third balls being won right now by Brazil. Japan just second to it. Not reacting first and having to adjust to what Brazil do. Hendrick, great layoff. Casemiro looking for Hendrick. Is there a shove in the back there? The referee says, get back to your feet. He wasn't convinced by that. He wasn't buying any of that by Hendrick. Referee Mariani there. That is time then for the hydration break. The three-quarter time interval is here. And what a time it's come for Japan, who are just starting to reel at the moment. Because Brazil are piling on the pressure and piling on the balls in the box. Hendrick has come on at half-time. Not directly impacted the game, but indirectly it's caused Brazil to change their way they're attacking. And it's been to the positive of the side. A ball whipped in by Gabriel, met at the back post by Casemiro. He headed home. That's why we're knotted at one apiece here. Short 2-minute break, guys. We'll be back for the final 20 minutes of this exhilarating matchup between Brazil and Japan. See you guys soon. So welcome back to the final quarter of this game. Maybe even the start of extra time after that as well. We'll have to wait and see. It has been very, very engaging. The hydration break come at the vital time for Japan to give them a bit of a refresh. Get some messages out there from Moriyasu to his side. They're really reeling there for a moment. They looked all at sea as Brazil piled on the pressure. But can Brazil keep the pressure on? There's a giveaway to Junior Ito. He gets back to his feet. And in the end, foul there by Gabriel Martinelli. He can get back to doing that though. Win your duels first. Compete for second balls. There's the XG, 1.45 for Brazil, 0.23 for Japan. Hasn't felt like that much of a difference, though, into the last recent few moments where Brazil have had their swagger back. Here comes Danilo. His pass gave that ball away to Sano that led to the opening goal in the first half. He's responded well in this second half, though. Endrick, great take on the turn and gets away from 4 white shirts. Feeds in his Real Madrid teammate Vinicius Jr., who chops inside Vini. And looks to make the extra pass, but couldn't find another yellow jersey at the back post there. Thought the shot was open there for Vinicius Jr. A rare chance where he didn't take it on. Martinelli. Marquinhos. Across to Ryan. Danilo. Bruno Guimaraes. Ryan. Another long spell of possession inbound you expect for Brazil. And that 5-3-2 structure for Japan looking more and more deep and more compact. Vini set to the Gabriel. Another whipped in ball. Back post, another header. And it hits off Ryan. And it comes out of play. I think it was blocked behind. So another corner kick here for Brazil. Pressure continuing to build. And again, another whipped in ball causing problems for Japan. Very much undersized, we know that, but they've always defended and attacked corners and set pieces very well. Struggling though to defend these open play crosses. Guimaraes. They're queuing up here, the Brazilian players in the box. Ball dealt with by Junior Ito. So then Gabriel, the Brazilian wave continues here. Gabriel fashions the ball out to Vinicius Jr. his left-hand side. Recycle back to Gabriel. It's now almost 6 in that back line. It is 6 in that back line for Japan with 2 in front and 2 in front of that. So it's a 6-2-2 right now. Because Brazil have thrown so many men forward in the box that Japan think they're obliged to put one more back there. It's Endrick, it's Ryan, it's... Who's up there as well? I think it's Douglas Santos up there as well. So many numbers crashing into the box right now. Can Brazil find another magical moment? And I feel for Japan, I appreciate they're trying to keep Brazil at bay, but they need to try and get out at times as well. This deep sitting that they're doing is just going to invite more and more pressure on them. They've got to find a way out at some point. Long ball to Ueda, maybe Junior Ito picking up a foul near the halfway line. Just seeming to get them on the ball and get them out of this defensive shape. Gabriel. Douglas Santos. Casemiro around the corner to Vini. First touch away from danger. And feeds a great ball into Endrick, who can play on the turn and look to try and deep one over the top for Martinelli, but the Arsenal man wasn't on the same wavelength there. We'll spread out wide. Guimaraes. Gabriel. Out to Vinicius Jr. Sets inside. Sees a crowd of white jerseys in front of him. So does Martinelli. Feeds a ball in through to Douglas Santos. He can stand a cross up. All the way though by Tomiyasu. Martinelli takes one on the half volley, but was always wide and never destined for the target. But that sort of recycled ball in, recycled shot is what led to the goal for Casemiro. So Ayo Tanaka coming on here for Daichi Kamada. Juniorito making way as well. He's coming on here. So Juniorito and Kamada make way. Tanaka we know is coming on. And it's Makino coming on a little bit further forward for Japan. So some fresh legs in midfield, fresh wing backs, and a fresh attacker as well. Moriyasu has swung some changes. In search of a response here. One more change left to make. Ancelotti only made 2, so he's got 3 to make. Great pressing from Suzuki up there. Chance for Japan just to pen this Brazilian side in for the time being. Tale of 2 halves so far. First half, a lot of great creation with limited possession for Japan. Second half, possession Brazil, but also creation Brazil and the goal Brazil as well. They have made the perfect response after halftime. Carlo Ancelotti got it right in his team talk. He got it right with the change as well. Despite it being forced, I reckon that Lucas Paquetá move was needed to be made. Ran the target and that long Casemiro diagonal, but the referee not falling for him falling over. Some very, very entertaining and engaging games in Houston. As to say, this might be one of the best of them. Casemiro. Pull that wide. Hendrick now receives it. Tanaka getting a toe in. This is that ferocity which Ayo Tanaka provides there. Ryan. Brazil lose out in possession. Japan coming the other way. Suzuki. Ryan putting a foot in. Throw for Japan, that far left-hand side for them. As we tick in the 80th minute now. Japan continuing to battle, continue to fight here. Paul fed into Ueda. Paul trying to get out of his feet to Makino. Not able to reach him. So Bruno Guimaraes, Danilo, Guimaraes. Costa Gabriel. Can Brazil just have a strong push here for the final 10 minutes? We saw a stoppage time winner for Canada yesterday in the knockout games. Obviously, we must have a winner today, so we're going to go to extra 30 of extra time. And even penalties if we need to. But you feel this overwhelming amount of Brazilian pressure that surely it would tell at some point. Gabriel. Marquinhos. Gabriel again. Out to Vinicius on the left-hand side. Just looks to skip past Sugawara. Gets a foot in there. The defender. Douglas Santos goes deep with his cross. Dealt with by Suzuki. Only as far as Danilo. Now with Gabriel of Arsenal. Casemiro. This Japanese line deeper and deeper. Ball in by Gabriel. Hendrick just looked to chest that ball down, but flying in was Taniguchi at the heart of that defense for Japan. Still they remain those sit-in, camping in here. Unable to get out. Brazil continuing to try and pass their way through, pass their way around this Brazilian side. To be fair to Japan, it took them a lot to concede the first goal. It's going to take a lot here for them to concede the second goal. They're going to be resolute and robust as ever. But you just feel Vinicius is starting to purr here. Hendrick's looking dangerous. That Martinelli ball wasted and in behind for Suzuki goal kick. A wasted delivery there from Gabriel Martinelli. Carlo talking to his assistants in the dugout. You wait up the out ball. Took the ball down, but no one was there for the seconds. That's been a great battle. Ueda against the two centre-halves, Gabriel and Marquinhos. Oh, great layoff. Danilo making a strong run onwards, and he's brought to ground by Suzuki. He had to foul his opposite number in the fullback. And this now then is a very, very dangerous position for Brazil. Danilo getting his head down and getting forward. That's Almeida just caught a little bit flat-footed, and the wing-back had to make the foul. So is this their chance? With Casemiro already scoring a header goal, can he add to that here? Guimaraes over this set play. Also Ryan, Martinelli and Vini on the edge of the area. There's going to be a two-man Japanese wall. I assume this ball's going to go in between the goalkeeper and the defensive line and just hope that someone get a nick on it. Whether it be one of the Japanese players or a Brazilian player, might be enough to get past Suzuki. It's going to be Ryan. He takes it on. Oh, got a nick. A great defensive headed effort there to head over. Great ferocious whip from Ryan. And it was Suzuki who made the foul. He got the defensive header away. Kept the ball from getting into a dangerous area. So Ryan's left-footed in swinger. Marquinhos, Hendrick and Casemiro close to goal. Further back is Gabriel. Comes off Casemiro. Comes to the edge of the area where Bruno Guimaraes is. Vini. Brazil got a player down in the box. Vini recycles it. Guimaraes on the outside of the foot. It's a waste. Martinelli down holding his head here. Just a stray elbow to the eye there. It's a stinger for the Arsenal man, but nothing in that. Datsameda just trying to fight for the football. Final knockings here of this one. As I said, extra 30 minutes of free football potentially ahead of us. We need a winner today. Ivory Coast or Norway waits as the potential opposition for whoever wins this game here. Sugawara. That's a dangerous ball for Maeda, who ran the channel. Lay off there. Machino. Here's Sano, who scored all the way back in the first half. Machino's ball. Dealt with by Casemiro, who got a toe poke away. Hendrick trying to run away with it. Tanaka was a little bit careless, and here come Brazil now. Transitional effort for them. Martinelli looking to have to be found in behind by Suzuki off his line well. Smart reaction for him because Martinelli looked through. Last 3 minutes here, the regulation time. Casemiro. Douglas Santos. Ryan. Into Danilo. Brazil trying to work a way through here. After that really important 15-20 minute spell, they haven't quite found that same incision in their play. But they were so close to making it two, and basically 2 attacks when Vinny went close and Suzuki tapped one onto his upright and away. Suzuki fouling Ryan with a push there. Referee Mariani seeing it that way at least. Got a threat of 6 minutes to be added on top of the 90 here. Set piece to be worked in. Oh, geez, Suzuki came off his line well and punched away. Marquinhos went close to it. Vinicius Jr., little feint. Looks to whip at the far corner. And Japanese players flying in for the talent and deflecting it wide. Corner kick, Brazil. Is the pressure going to tell here? Short corner worked. Ryan to whip this one in. Rising highest was Gabriel. Able to get that header on target. Out wide left here to Vinny. He's got a 1v1. This is when he's very dangerous, Vinny. Twisting left and right. Still with it, Vinny. Still Vinny. In the end, great defensive action from the Japanese combination. But Tanaka gives it away to Vinny. Pursuing that free kick. Vinny wants it back straight away. He's in the mood here. Vinny whipping the ball in. Suzuki comfortably claiming. And releases Japan here. They want to have a counter-attack of their own. Machino. Got Ueda up there. Great swing of play. Sugawara on his right-hand side. Japan are quite flooding into the box, but there's numbers there. Sugawara, the whipped-in ball. Dealt with. Cleared as far as Ayo Tanaka. Now Japan's chance to throw some players forward and cause some danger. Suzuki on this left-hand side. Sets one in there. Marquinhos. Defensive clearance. There's our 6 minutes of stoppage time. Play on top of the 90. Goal scorer Casemiro down here. So then Fabinho has himself ready. He'll come on for Casemiro. Not too much more pace introduced into the side, but fresh legs though. Casemiro maybe a knock or maybe a strain somewhere. Casemiro making way. Hopefully that's not the end of his tournament. Bit of a strain there, potentially, for Casemiro. Holding that groin region, which hopefully is not too bad and maybe more of a precaution than anything. Fabinho on for Casemiro. Experienced head for another experienced head. Sano. Now with Tomiyasu looking to feed the ball towards Ueda. Again, competed well against Gabriel. And I have to say that he's probably got the better of Gabriel in different patches today. Ryan plays it through. Hendrick's there. Hendrick. A lot of Japanese numbers in the way between him and the goal. And in the end, great defensive action from Taniguchi. He's got the armband and made an important challenge because the ball just landed very comfortably there for Hendrick. That was danger for Japan. So now then, Brazil's corner kick. They had a lot of these in the second half. That caused danger from a lot of them. Can they get the delivery more dangerous and deadly this time around? Lofted ball towards Fabinho, who wins the header, heads it straight out of play. And I would get a control of that headed effort there, Fabinho. Now in the Saudi Pro League after leaving Liverpool. Ball won by Gabriel. Taniguchi. Tanaka. Machino. One back there by Bruno Guimaraes. 4 out of 6 played. I expect us probably have 7, maybe 7.5, 8 minutes because of Casemiro taking his time to get off the pitch though. So probably halfway through stoppages. It's not been straightforward for either side. Both are so competitive though. Have their threats of their own. Brazil's second half, though, has been fantastic in response to Japan taking the lead into half-time. The overwhelming pressure and attacking threat has been in one direction. That is to the left of screen. And that's where Brazil have been attacking. Vini had his shot saved onto the upright. A couple headed chances went near. Goal line scramble as well. Beautiful give and go play. Ball set to the area where Hendrick is. Tanaka getting a foot in. Ryan, though, winning the ball back and sending it to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes. Fantastic Martinelli. It's in. Brazil won it. Martinelli. The man for the moment. And it's Brazilian ecstasy in Houston. They've pushed, they've probed. And they finally knocked on that Japanese door and knocked it down. And Martinelli's the man. Look what it means. Those Brazilian fans. And that has to be the winner for Brazil. And it's at the dagger in the heart of those Japanese fans and this Japanese side. But again, it's the press from Ryan. He wins the ball high up the pitch. And Bruno Guimaraes is smart. He doesn't just blaze away. Stays composed, draws the defenders in, and rolls in Gabriel Martinelli, who picks out the corner. Suzuki gets a touch, but this time it's a touch onto the post and into the back of the net. And Brazil, at last, have found that goal and potentially found the winner. Carlo chooses not to celebrate. He keeps composed. He's seen it all, Don Carlo. But these Brazilian players, these Brazilian fans, absolutely love it. Gabriel looks to the heavens. And Japan, who have been so resilient and fought so hard in this game here, are going to need some magic in the space of probably 90 seconds if they're going to try and save this game. Maeda makes way. Ogawa comes on. The final substitution for Japan has been swung. And Danilo Santos readying himself here. Off the pitch comes Bruno Guimaraes. He got that fantastic assist just then for Gabriel Martinelli. And he's been unbelievable in this tournament for Brazil. Look at Matheus Cunha. Guimaraes embracing that. So you probably reckon 90 seconds here for Japan to try and save something. As it stands, Arsenal's man, Martinelli, is the hero. Japan will go direct and long from this kickoff. The question is, how long is left? Suzuki. Header from Fabinho. Tanaka sends it back to the left-hand side. Clearance away. And that takes a nick of a Japanese player. It's going to be a Brazilian throw. Deep in their half. Danilo to take it. I just think he'll just search for distance here in this throw. It's a long throw towards Hendrick. He comes to a tussle and a foul against Japan. There is Kubo and there's Moriyasu. They can only look on now. There it is there. Tanaka just playing himself into trouble. But Ryan again with the press and Bruno G again with the assist. We saw this versus Scotland. They pressed hard at the pitch. They caused problems. They were energetic. And then always Guimaraes making the right read. Fabinho battling away there in midfield. Ball hooked up into the Houston sky and forward. Well dealt with by Taniguchi. Josuke one up here by Japan. Header over the shoulder. Chance to chase here. And that is a foul on Danilo. And that should surely see us the end of this game here. The Brazilian fans can't bear to watch. Japanese fans, though, shock on their face. You feel for this Japanese side and that manager, Moriyasu. Yet to progress past the round of 16. Yet to win a knockout match at a FIFA World Cup. In recent times. Brazilian fans and players are like looking for that full-time whistle. They haven't got it yet. Suzuki launches the ball forward. Do Japan have another trick up their sleeve? Tomiyasu. He would drew to be one. Sugawara with a flick on header. Danilo Santos gets a further forward. And are they out now? Is that full time now? They want the throw taken for the right spotty, the referee. Long throw comes in. Defensive header won by Douglas Santos. And that is that. Brazil win it. A classic knockout match. Brazil dramatic. In stoppage time, they get the winner. Gabriel Martinelli sends Brazil through. It is heartbreak for Moriyasu's Japanese men. Tears in the crowd from the Japanese fans. They fought so hard in this game. And you can't help but feel sorry for this Japanese side that have been so good at this tournament. They go out, though, at the first hurdle. And it is Brazil through Casemiro and then by Martinelli who get the better of this Japanese side. Sano's first half goal, in the end, in vain. Brazil responded in the second half. They came out a team inspired. And in the end, they got the better of this hard-fighting and resilient Japanese outfit. Heartbreaking disappointment on one side. Relief and ecstasy on the other side. Brazil get it done in the most dramatic of fashion. Martinelli in stoppage time. Brazil go through 2-1. They await the winner of Norway and the Ivory Coast as they search for number 6 stars and their 6th World Cup title. It's been an absolutely awesome game to watch here from Houston. Brazil get it done. It's Brazil 2, Japan 1. Brazil through to the next stage. What a game. Thanks for joining me, guys, wherever you're watching around the world. It's been an awesome stream here and an awesome game. Stay tuned. A stream later today. We've got Morocco and the Netherlands in a few hours' time. In between that, you guys got Germany to play Ecuador as well. A lot of exciting games to come. Look at the scenes, though, in the stands. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you guys for another stream very, very soon. Till next time, goodbye.